Okay, this is Business 342, page 89, homework problem number 12. Calculate a firm's WACC, the weighted average cost of capital, given a corporate tax rate of 34%. Okay, the debt, 12,000 shares, 12,000 bonds of 8% semi-annual coupon bonds with a face value of $1,000, 20 years to maturity, selling for $1,030, 280,000 shares of common stock, selling $60 with a beta of 1.3, and preferred shares of 5.8% preferred stock outstanding with a face value of 100 and selling for 94. And then they give you some more information. So for this common stock, you're going to have to figure out the RE with the SML security market line or the capital asset pricing model, CAPM. They're both the same formula. So 8.2% market returns. Doesn't say anything about a premium. So this is the ERM, the expected rate of the market, return of the market, excuse me, the rate, return, whatever. And with a risk-free rate of 1.2%. So they've told you everything you need to figure out everything. You got the beta and all that stuff. So the first thing, let's do the first debt, which is the bonds. Let's calculate that out. So there's 12,000 of them. Tells you the price. Remember, you do everything for their value based on the current market price. So 12,000 of them times 1,030, 12,360,000. You go through and figure out what the IY is. These are semi-annual. So the N times 2, there's 20 years times 2 is 40. Present value, remember, is 1,030. So you make that negative. That's the current price. Payment, it's an 8% semi-annual, so $80 based on 1,000 face divided by 2 is 40. Future value is 1,000. Gives you the IY calculation. Compute IY is the same as the RD, which is 3.85, but since this is semi-annual, you have to multiply times 2 to get annual. Because remember, when you're doing this with semi-annual payments, you're getting a semi-annual interest rate, right? So you multiply times 2 to get the annual. That's the RD is 7.7. That's before tax. You get the after tax on that. You take the RD times 1 minus the tax rate, so 7.7 times 0.66, and you get 5.82. That's the after tax rate, which is what you're going to want to do when you get the weight for this, when you weight it and get the weighted average cost of capital. Now equity. They give you all the information you needed to figure it out. They told you that there's 280,000 shares at current selling price of $60 a share, so 280,000 times 60 is 16,800,000 for the current market value. Now remember, you're using the SML/CAPM formula, which is RE equals the risk-free rate plus beta on this side. Sometimes you can have beta on that side of this, whichever way you want to do it. The beta for equity times the expected rate of return for the market minus the risk-free rate. So they didn't give you the risk premium. They didn't say anything about premium. They gave you this and this. So you got to take the 8.2 minus the 1.2 in this case. 1.2 also goes over here, the risk-free rate, plus the beta times this. That gives you an RE of 10.3. And then you go through and for preferred, they tell you that there's 14,000 shares. Remember, you're basing it on the current price. So 14,000 times 94, that's the current value. Okay, 1,316,000. For preferred, it's just the dividend, because dividend doesn't change. So there's no D0, D1, D2, whatever, because there is no growth rate for that, because it's a fixed dividend. They pay you that certain rate, 5.8% forever, over the current market price. So this basically gives you the yield. So the RP is 6.17%. Now you just take the weights of all these. You know, the 12,360,000 over the 30, 16.8 over the 30, 1,316,000 over the 30. That's how you figure out the WACC, right? It's just the weighted average cost of capital. So the weight for the equities, which is the cost of equity over the total value, V, times the return, which was 7.7. Should have underlined this. Okay, plus the weight for the preferred times the return for the preferred plus the weight for the debt times the after-tax. Now we already did the after-tax calculations up here, so we can just plug this number in for this whole thing right here. Just do the weights on it, multiply times the return, and you get 8.01% for WACC. Pretty straightforward. That's Business 342, page 89, problem number 12.